Hi, I'm Eric Miller, co-owner and chief advisor at Econologics Financial Advisors, and I am here to tell you a client story. So this story is about a veterinarian that we were introduced to by a practice management consultant in Ohio, and he had owned his practice for probably 15 years. He was in his mid to late 40s when we started working with him. His practice was in fairly good condition, and his household finances weren't in a bad condition, but his primary concern was, am I able to expand? How do I expand? How do I buy another practice? And am I in the right kind of personal financial condition where I can take that risk? And he had a lot of questions about that because he didn't want to make a mistake and buy another practice and have that have negative consequences on his personal finances. Like with everyone else, the first thing we did is we created a plan for him. And because the plan has financial metrics and he was able to see that his personal financial condition was in a condition that he could take a risk in buying another practice because he had done a lot of right things. Now, we did show him how to better channel some of the business cash flow to his household so that he could build more reserves and he could accelerate getting his whatever debt that he had paid off. But it did give him a lot of confidence that he could do that. And after he was able to see that, and after we also were able to show him the practice appraisal and what his business value was, it really gave him a lot of confidence that he was doing the right things with his practice. He was profitable. He did put in systems in place, and that allowed his practice value to have a fairly high value. So he jumped the next year. He was able to buy another practice, and because he had already had these systems set up that we had showed him how to do, he was able to get the other practice growing fairly quickly. And right now he has two practices that are both profitable. He has two practices that are very viable, and he has two practices now that are feeding cash flow from the practice to his household. And that's just allowing him to further get rid of any personal debt that he does have. I don't think he has any right now. I think he's able to pay off all his personal debt and really start creating a lot more personal assets and personal reserves and retirement accounts, so that when he does decide to sell one of the practices or both the practices at the same time, he's not going to be reliant upon the practice sales for his personal financial well-being, and he really feels good about that situation. But more than anything else, it was the fear and uncertainty of can I expand? And once you look at numbers and once you're able to look at metrics, he was able to have the confidence to be able to do so, and it really turned out well for him.